Learn to code. We're learning to code today. It's gonna be a fun day. So Thursday, and we love to code. Cool. So I'm sharing my screen, right? You can see it. Uh, somebody's typing. Whatever. It's Learn to Code Thursdays, baby. And Learn to Code Thursdays, they're generally our last day of the Learn to Code moment. And so, what are we gonna do today? I don't know if any of you notice. If you're watching the YouTube stream, I have it's a timer above my head. What is this? That's a timer that says 1 hour and 10 seconds. Why did I put that timer there? Because we have this VR chat world that we've been working on this week. And I started this week off like talking about dev workflow and how it's important as a coder to take your development process and make it fun for yourself. Pique your curiosity, pique your interest, give yourself something to do with the thing, right? That you like. So it's not just fucking so it's not just freaking type in code into a console and getting words back is out. What's more boring than alphanumeric text, right? Something that I do and something that I've been interested in is 3D development, game development, virtual reality. It's all fun, right? But we're in this weird virtual reality trough of disillusionment. What is that? Basically, it means that way back, eons ago, in the years of 2018, 2019, promises were made, and money was in the billions was pumped into a sector that never really delivered on what it promised. We saw it happen with virtual reality. We saw it happen with crypto. It's happening with AI to a degree right now. But the thing is, these promises are impossible to keep because you're attaching price tags that are so abstract in value that how is a technology, a conceptual technology, ever going to deliver on billions of dollars of value, right? Doesn't make any sense. Anyways, virtual reality. People don't use it anymore, but some people do. When we go into VR chat, we see that there's still a thriving community in there. And I thought it'd be a good idea to build this multiverse school world out. And we use Claude to sort of help us with some of the tooling and scripting that was in there. And it works for the most part. The thing about Claude is it loses context of the actual like 3D space. So as humans and as artists and as creators and as developers, it's super important that we are part of the process in vibe coding this VR world, right? It's not just kind of plug and play situation. That being said, I thought it'd be fun today to sort of take this VR chat world that we're building and give myself the constraint of this class, the hour that we spend for Learn to Code, since it is Thursday, in getting the VR chat school to a place of being a demo, of being the VR chat multiverse hub. And that hour constraint is a way for me to appeal to the sort of gamification, challenge, competitive part of my brain. And it's an important point to make too for people that are learning to code or learning to develop, that a great way to sort of spur that curiosity and that initiative is to check for local game jams, local hackathons. It's like really just gets your brain in the sense in this place of like, I'm going to create, I'm going to do something, I'm gonna put my whole heart into it, and then at the end of the week or at the end of the weekend or at the end of whatever the time constraint is, we're gonna have a working version of this thing, or we're not gonna have a working version of this thing, and I'm going to have a new network of people that I've worked with. I'm gonna have something that I can put in my portfolio. I'm gonna have an MVP of the game that we made. Or at the very, very least, like, let's say you had a horrible experience at a game jam. You hated everybody that you worked with, and the project failed. It was embarrassing. You humiliated yourself on stage. Now you know that is actually, that's like, all right. So that's kind of like a dark. That's not what's gonna happen. It's never happened to me at a game jam or a hackathon, but it is like worst case scenario. You kind of botch the project, right? You roll a 1 on the game jam. Worst case scenario, you still walk away learning something about yourself as a developer, about yourself as a collaborator, as an artist, how you work in groups. Maybe you learn never to work with the people that you worked with again, you know? At the very least, everything's a lesson, everything's progress. But what do I mean by this, like, game jam constraint, right? So as a game developer, I highly suggest, if you're into game development or if you're just into designing fun things, this art of game design, a book of lenses. It's like it's textbooky. Jesse Shell basically gives all these lenses to look at when you're building your game, and for building applications, it comes in handy too. And so the idea is there's, all these different lenses, all these ways to brainstorm, state the problem. So today we're doing number 38, the lens of challenge. All right, the lens of challenge. Challenge. So what it says here, challenge is at the core of almost all gameplay. You could even say that a game is defined by its goals and its challenges. When examining the challenges in your game, ask yourself these questions. What are the challenges in my game? Are they too easy, too hard, or just right? Can my challenges accommodate a wide variety of skill levels? How does the level of challenge increase as the player succeeds? Is there enough variety in the challenges? What is the maximum level of challenge in my game? So the dominant strategy, the lens that we're looking through today, is this challenge lens. We're providing ourselves the challenge of making the Multiverse VR chat world something worth exploring for other VR chat users, something worth being in for us, something that's representative of the Multiverse school, and we only have an hour to do it. So with the hour on the clock, and if you probably can't see the timer from campus, but it's on the YouTube stream, and then also I'm on the YouTube stream. All right, without further ado, we start the timer and we're gonna freaking finish this thing, and we're gonna do it together. All right, a challenge for me before we even start this is I need to actively be talking about what I'm doing and not get lost in the stress of trying to get this thing done. If you are annoyed with me and the sound of my voice or the pace at which I am working on something, I implore you to check out the Multiverse School GitHub for this VR chat this VR chat world that we're building. Do you know how to build a VR chat world? Probably not. Can you poke around these files and get a feel for what is being done? Maybe. Can you post readmes and documentation in these files to explain to me what you want to do with them and then push them as a pull request? Yes, of course. Do we even know how to do that? Maybe not. You know, we're going to be working on this together. It's going to be fun. And I know I can't just like say it's going to be fun and make it fun, but it's going to be fun. It's at least going to be fun for me. So what we're working towards today is it's at least going to be fun for me is the most dumb thing to say as a teacher, but whatever. It's at least going to be fun for me. I know that. So we are part of this world that we're building. It's so see how it's green where it says the Multiverse School. It's published to labs, right? It's published to these creator labs. So there are like groups of people, consortiums of people in VR chat that go and they look at these creator worlds. They look at these like discovery community labs and they basically flag your world if they like it, and then your world becomes a popular world or it goes on the front page of VR chat. So inherent to the challenge, beyond just building this thing out in an hour, one of the goals is to catch the eye of the creator labs, the higher ups at VR chat, so that maybe the Multiverse School VR chat will be pushed to the front of the line. So let's do it. Let's start the timer. And oh man, all right, scary. All right, we got 10 seconds to kind of chill. 3, 2, 1. All right, and now we're going. Okay. Oh man, this is scary. No. The timer is going, and we're building this thing. Okay, so our world is a mess. You know, let's look at what's going on in the Unity file. All right, lots of stuff going on here, but when we test our world, what are we getting back? Build and test your world. So we're gonna wait for this to load. We wish it took quicker for it to load, but it doesn't. It takes a while for it to load out when we're testing it. We're going to lose time on just waiting for this thing to load, which is annoying, but that's kind of how it goes. All right, we're gonna do our test playthrough. Bundling and compressing data. All right, cool. That's great. We got this. This introduces, that's me. Welcome to the Multiverse School, blah, blah, blah. We got this. This is bad. So we're going to do a little playthrough. This is supposed to be a torch. It shouldn't just be spinning around like that. Torch shouldn't be spinning. It's also just a boring cylinder, and we don't need a torch anymore because it's daytime. But it's daytime, but the sky's black. Why is the sky black? Why is the sky black? Maybe that's the first thing that we figure out. Right, Multiverse Forest. And what would a game jam be without our buddy Claude. All right. So the sky in my Multiverse VR chat level is black. How do I make the sky not black? Oh my god, and that's not gonna load in there. How do I make the sky not black? And then it will do something. So, it's the game. Alright. Alright, this is a test world. So let's open actual VR chat. Because it just opened a test version of it. So testing helps you kind of like check out your level, but it's kind of like running VR chat in safe mode. So you can't do certain things. You can't change your avatar. People can't join the world. You have to set up multiple clients to be able to manipulate whatever's in your world. It's like a diluted version of or a diet version of VR chat so that you can test things in your world. So this is the real multiverse school that I set up as my home in VR chat. So when you go to different worlds in VR chat, you can set them up as your home. We got this annoying torch. And there's me from yesterday. So what I'm going to do first...
Job is done.
Oh, and these things... They're like, they have like some weird collider set on them. So this is me from yesterday. I'm going to change the URL on this. Alright, so changing the URL on this so that the people can see, can watch me doing what I'm doing today. And then if we want to get, we have like some weird colliders set on them. Alright, cool. So that's me from the past, just a couple minutes ago. Alright, we got this ogre. He doesn't have a collider on him. That's annoying. This building, I like this hideout. It's not really doing much for me, but it's okay. And then we have this like weird code game that we set up over here. I don't know what that is doing. We were supposed to be able to be like int a equals 5, int b equals 10, int result equals a plus b, debug log, and then return result compiled, and then you like are able to get out of this little pit that I made, but we didn't figure out how to get it to work. So there's a lot of context that we end up losing in when we're using Claude and VR chat, right? So what does Claude say? The sky is black because of Veridog values in your skybox material. You can also have. Alright. Want me to update the map file directly? Yes, update the map file directly. Thank you. Alright, so we want to make this feel more like a school, right? We have all these trees everywhere. These trees are annoying. Let's open this forest.
Job is done.
Pine, so we can only touch pines. Alright, so within pine, we want to maybe pull all these pines over here. Cool. So what I did there to just like move those pines specifically, and I know it's like really small for y'all, is I've searched pine in the hierarchy, and that made it so I can only uh, select pines, right? So I'm not moving the rest of the world, right? Easy peasy. Uh, and then we'll move these out from here. Cool. I just wanted to clear some space. Clear some space. Okay. And now we got that going. Surface shader output needs to have in-out modifier. I don't know what that means. Now when you open Unity, bright daytime sky. Oh, cool. Look, the sky color was fixed by Claude. Thank you, Claude. We moved some trees. Claude fixed the day color. It didn't do that it did do that through code, because what it did was it changed that mat file. So if we were to look at what Claude did, just to check, skyudonlab.mat. So it took this file, it had context for that, and it changed, let's see, it changed the, or actually we could just look at it in here. And it changed the sky tint. So let's see if we can find that. Sky tint, it lowered it to 0.5, 0.7, and 1. And it changed the atmosphere thickness and the sun size. That's cool. That's really useful. It's also useful to know that we have this material written out in YAML, right? YAML stands for YAML Ain't Markup Language. And with that in mind, it's human readable, right? Human readable data. That's how most things are set up in Unity. But it's serialized data. So when we make changes to like Git files that are like materials, we have to be careful when we're pulling other people's changes, because we can actively break things by not having like serialized systems set up. So when you open Unity now, it should show a bright blue daytime value, which it does. Mwah, perfect. And how much time do we have left on the clock? 49 minutes. We took 11 minutes just to change the color of the sky and move around some trees. All right, so what else do we need in this this setup? And people in the chat, feel free to come in with your ideas. We're building this VR chat world for the Multiverse School. We put an hour on the clock. We only have an hour to build this thing. So what else could we use? I think it'd be nice to have like a classroom, you know, maybe some beanbag chairs or something. You know, this is a cool classroom. I'm the type of teacher who like turns the chair around and sits on it backwards and is like, yo, let's get real about let's get real about coding. So when you go to the Unity Asset Store, you can find a lot of things, assets for free, right? We're going to make sure that if we're using people's assets that we give them credit. But let's search Classroom and see if there's anything here, right? Free. School assets, 2D anime school, free. That's kind of cool. Anime school. This looks like a child's school. This is like a university. Is there rooms inside the university, or is it just a building? Kind of threw me out of there. All right, we're gonna use. We're gonna use the anime school. We're doing it. accepting the EULAs. Okay, and when your assets are added, really quick workflow here, you can say open in Unity, right? And they will open in Unity. So, 3 things you need to do. You need to add the asset on the asset store. You need to download the asset into your package manager, right? And then once that's downloaded, you need to import it into your project, right? It's annoying. It's annoying. Why can't that just be one step? I don't know. Unity's weird in a lot of ways. Do we like Unity? Do we hate Unity? What's the vibe? I don't know. Okay, so with 46 minutes left on the clock, we have brought in this asset of school. All right, so what we're gonna do now is I see we have some mess up from the lake that we put in. So I'm gonna delete that, and then I'm going to make an empty. We'll call this school, and I want to move it over here. It's maybe 0.4, negative 1.3, and 27. And then we'll start putting in school prefabs within that just to stay organized. So student scripts, what was this called? 2D anime school demo scripts. Assets, 2D art. It's just art. Alright, so maybe we'll... Alright, so we have to save this world scene, and we have to open up the demo to get into it. Oh no, it's 2D. Duh, I'm an idiot. It's not even a 3D scene. I was assuming that that it would be a scene that we could use. It is not a scene that we could use. So what are we gonna do? Really quickly delete it. Yeah, I know. VRC default world scene, go back here, save that, and we are going to delete this 2D anime school because it's 2D. That's why I need y'all in the chat being like, hey, maybe don't download the thing that's called 2D school, right? It's okay if you weren't on me for that, but that's annoying. It's so annoying. Alright, so classroom didn't work like that. Maybe school? School assets. Okay, it might have to be the school asset. It looks like I see some desks in there, right? Oh, those are lockers. I thought they were like kids, like things. Alright. School assets, download. So you see I'm downloading a lot of Unity assets. Part of game jamming, part of hackathoning, right, is kit bashing. It's taking stuff that's already prefabbed so that if I were out here trying to make every single desk, trying to make every single classroom file, I would lose my mind. Right? That's in an hour. That's not going to happen. Look, we're already 20 minutes into this challenge, and we've moved some trees. Right? So, like it's a lot. School. All right. So what was that called? School. All right, demo scene. Prefabs, that's what we want. Props, road. All right. Gives us some walls. Oh my gosh. All right. Gives us some walls. It gives us a table. I don't like their walls. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to make our own little school, right? Make our own little school. And I always forget which blender I'm using. I think I was in Blender 3.6. So this is Blender 3.2. Ah! Blender 3.6. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. 3.6, there we go. Multiverse Forest, we're right here. Remember when we were trying to work on that script? All right, cool. It's huge. It's very huge. So the Multiverse Forest. There's no way to know where anything is. I still think it's too big too. So really quickly, is there a way for us to make it smaller? The scale is 1,000, which means it's huge. It's absolutely huge. Maybe make the scale 100. That's still huge, but it's not too huge. That's kind of more the vibe. That's kind of more the vibe, right? All right, cool. So let's see. And then the ground looks more like a ground, but we are getting this weird tiling thing happening with it. We'll deal with that another day. I'm going to delete this torch because it's not doing anything for us. I am going to look at this hideout. Mesh collider, blah blah blah, house. These barrels should not have rigid bodies on them. Remove that. Remove that rigid body. Ladder. We're gonna remove that rigid body. A box collider makes sense, but radio doesn't have a rigid body. This, the phones, wires, headphone can have no fixed joint. Oh, there's so much on this. No sphere. Oh, there's sphere colliders. Oh my god. There's so much on this. Yeah, let's do a VRC pickup. Proximity to use. Puts a rigid body on it, so it's using gravity. It'll fall on the table, but it won't do that weird thing where it's like moving all around. That's what I don't want. All right, so school. What does school look like to us? School is going to be, so here's this cool, let's just like figure out where we are in the world by putting cubes places. And we're going to delete this multiverse school text. Alright, so we'll put that there. We'll export this as an FBX. Oh my god. We'll go to multiverse chat, multiverse assets, models, environment, multiverse forest. When we export as the FBX that we have before, because it's the same sort of file, Unity knows that and it will just load it in for us. All right, so see that? That's right on top of our right on top of our thing. So we can take this actually, and let's move this. Right, where do we want to move this? We want to move this kind of like that and like that. Just get it away from. Get it away. All right, we have 37 minutes left. Wow, I really set myself up with a challenge here. All right, so school's hella far away. School is so far away. Oops. All right, so 1.8. All right, so 1.8. So you can actually take the z-axis from here, and it won't be the z-axis here. It will be the y-axis. Let's see, because that might not be right. Unity and Blender, there's a difference between their X and Z axes that can screw things up sometimes. We're not going in there, we're going in here. Cool, so it's exactly where we want it to be now. Mwah, perfect. All right, so we'll save that. We'll save this. So what do we want to do with this school? We want to turn it into a school. So it's a little tall right now, so we're gonna shorten it out. Keep it in the same spot because it's definitely in the spot that we want it to be. So with the walls, what we can do is we can, I have this like building tools add-on. We're gonna add a door, a big door. We're gonna delete the faces to this door. We're gonna add a window right here. We're gonna delete the faces to the window. Add another window right here, delete the faces to that, and then add a roof. That's a little school. Dun, 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 dun. And if you don't like it, well, I don't know what to tell you. So something about the way that stuff renders in 3D is you have these things called normals, right? And when a normal is facing the wrong way, you can see directly through it when you're in a game, right? So I put on this face orientation view, and I can see that blue will show up, red will be see-through, right? So what I'm going to do to this shape in order to get rid of the red on the inside, instead of flipping that normal, because walls are solid, they have two sides, I'm going to add a solidify modifier to this, and then we don't see through the walls. We get this weird sort of action with the windows, which we'll need to figure out. But besides that, it works, and we're happy with it. So we'll get out of Blender because we don't have time to be sticklers about that. But we want the normals to be correct. So now we got our school, and it's big. Cool. And we'll put some stuff in it. All right. So we got our prefabs. Maybe a what's a jalus? What's a jalus? Blinds. No. We'll put that there, and then make it a little bit wider. It's like real school where you had blinds on the windows. And then we'll have, there's so many books. What about a desk? Desk. That's all I want is a desk. Chair. All right. It's called the chair actually. Um, so the chairs are coming in like that. We'll actually rotate them negative 90. And what we want to do with this chair, alright, so we'll throw all of this into school. What we want to do with this chair is actually we want to put a VRC T prefab chair, VRC sit. Alright, how do I find this chair situation? Textures, udon sharp. There's a chair somewhere in VR chat, models, scenes, school, student scripts, textures, editor. VRC chair. Alright, well, I'll figure it out. Add component, chair, seat. I gotta look this up. VRC chair. Alright, VRC station. Allow users to sit down. An example found in VRC chair 3. Alright, VRC station. Enter location. Exit location. Alright. Is that how we're doing it? We'll have to test this chair out. Alright, and I guess we'll have the mesh collider. Can you be within a collider? It's gonna be buggy. Alright, let's test it out. VRC, build and test. We got one desk, and it only took us half an hour. Well, we got the entire school up too. Any ideas in the chat? We're doing our hour game jam to get this school open, the Multiverse school. You know, it's a labor of love. But it's a lot. Okay. Is it here? Oh my god. It's like a desert out here. It's like fucking freaking Joshua Tree or something. Alright, so cool. We're in school now. Oh, I'm sitting in it, kind of, right? That kind of works. Yeah, it works. It works for all intents and purposes. But there's no material on it. The material didn't load in with it. Why did the material not load in? Shader standard. Is there a different sort of can you check why the chair one material isn't showing up in VR chat? Is there a bell? Do you want it like a school bell? Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Alright, so we just need a couple of these. Ba 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 ba. Alright. We're going to stagger them because I want everyone to be able to see what's going on, you know? Are there ever going to be 5 students in the class? Maybe at some point, you know? Maybe at some point. And then we'll put a nice little whiteboard or something on the wall. We're going back into our school prefabs. Wall. Did they already put the whiteboard on their walls? This one has a door, a table. That's a showcase. That's, what is this? It's like a cafeteria thing. Computers, buses, board. Alright, so that could go maybe over here. Board.
Job is done.
But then we need I've assigned one mat to that was issued. It has 3 submissions. Blah 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 blah. All right, and then we pull down. All right, so it is a nice little schoolroom. You know, it's nothing to write home about. It's kind of boring, but what if we made a duplicate of this in here? And then we kind of put this right here like it's a projector coming down, so that students could watch what's going on. And then we'll have that's not the vibe. Table 1, speaker. Move this over here. This is where I would be as a teacher, like, oh, that's what I'm doing. Old school overhead projector. Yeah, so we'll do, well, this is not an overhead projector, but we'll attach it somewhere to the ceiling to give off the effect that it's being projected. And that's wonderful. And then we need to ask Claude, can you fix any of the materials that have this issue. We'll see. All right. And this is great. There are a couple things wrong with this. There's no materials for this. So what we're going to do here is, let's see if we can select the walls, select the frame, select alright, so new walls, and like a brick color or something, and then we'll assign that, and once we're inside, because we've solidified, we'll need to apply this solidification, and then everything on the inside becomes its own I know there's a better way to do this, but you know, we're not geniuses. Not everything needs to be correct. Walls, interior. Assign. I don't have time to make materials for all these things. What am I going to do? Is there a VR chat materials world download? VR chat free, or vrcmods.com. This sounds trustable. Dance and emotes pack. That's great. Skeleton avatar. Wonderful. Koshi's trash boy. Love it. Materials. Clone trooper. Nazi avatar. No, we don't want that. World models and props, shaders, clothing, worlds, materials. We just want materials. Unity asset store. Materials, price, free.
Job is done.
Cool. PBR materials sampler pack. Fine. It's going to be great. I see brick in there. Brick's cool. Open in Unity. If they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. And that's just the world we live in. Gotta get the materials. Oh, 18 minutes. All right, what we need more than this school, though, is like something that walks people through what we're building here. Like, what does that mean? All right, let's... Alt-H? Alright, we need to actually... This is floor. And then Oof. We're just like blocking out so we can have materials on all this stuff. Alright, export as FBX, Multiverse Forest. Alright, we're importing the PBR materials. What does PBR stand for? Pabst Blue Ribbon. No, it stands for Pabst Blue Ribbon. That's what Google says. No, physically based rendering. Or Professional Bull Riders Sports Organization. Or policy-based routing. Payment by results in economics. It stands for a lot of stuff. We don't need to memorize acronyms in this class. Ooh, it's taking forever to prepare this package. We don't have time. We don't have the time for you to just take forever on preparing packages. Oh, this. Alright. Wow. Alright, meanwhile, Claude went through 49 prefabs and altered all of their materials so that they would work for us. Alright, cancel that. Oh my god, if this didn't save, I'm gonna be so frustrated. That would be a lesson in, I don't know, can you check on Unity and see why it's hanging? Thank you. So, you see, we're kind of using Claude as like an assistant to check on things that we don't have the ability to look into. So let's see, did it pull in the PBRs? No, it didn't, because it's
job is done.
Nope. But we have some base. Do we want to try again with these PBRs? Maybe. We'll do it one more time, and if it takes too long, we'll just write this off. All 49 prefab completed successfully. The most. All right, this package is not going to work for us. We got to wait until we have the ability to cancel this, import again, and then just start from square one on that. It's really annoying. All right. Alright, come on, Unity. Work through it. You got this. Alright, so what are we waiting for right now? A failed import. That's what we're waiting for, the failed import to fail enough so that we can cancel it. If we aren't able to cancel this, we might have just lost our entire project, which is frustrating. But then it would turn into a 10-minute challenge. Oh. Did that work? No, I'm confused. Alright, XR textures, maybe? Materials. Editor asset links, models. PBR? No. These are ogre files. Let's see, bricks, brick. Alright, so that seemed to have done something. Bricks on the outside, it's kind of gross. Oh, this might just be the hideout. That might just be the hideout. Huh. Yeah. It's the hideout. Anyways, we'll throw a roof on there. We'll throw, no, we don't. Grass. A nice little green floor. You know, wood, softwood, wooden floor. And then maybe green walls. You know, it's gross, but it almost works. Roof. Wood again, I guess. It's all wood. Everything's wood. That kind of looks like a roof. Softwood. Let's get that tiling up. Oh, so gross. I don't know why it's doing this. Materials look weird. We'll figure this out. Alright, so we got 10 minutes left. We haven't tested it in a while. Yeah, in a forest, everything being wood makes sense. Alright, so 9 minutes. I'm scared. I am so scared. 9 minutes. Alright, what do I want this school to invoke? I want people to feel like they can interact with this space in an educational way. Oh, cool. Look, we got our little class. That doesn't have a collider on it. It's kind of busted. The seats work. I'm sitting. Wonderful. It's cool. It's cool. Alright, we can go through the walls in there. That's not good. There's an old version of me talking from the other day. These aren't moving anymore. The headphones are gone. Alright, it's fine. It's cool. It's okay. It's not the biggest deal in the world. So, we want the video for this class to be the video from today, right? So, I am going to grab the video link. I am going to go to our first Udon player inspector, add this video URL in here, and I will go to our second inspector and add that in there. Autoplay. Can you have two video players in the same world? Maybe not. Maybe they're limiting us on that.
Job is done.
Alright. We're testing again. Ugh. I'm not showing up on this screen. It doesn't look like we can have two video players in the same world. I like how the roof looks. We'll get out of there. I'm there too. Actually, it looks like you can. You just need to start one. I don't know if they can both be on autoplay. I don't have enough time to figure it out. All right. Let's see if we can figure this out. How can I add a audio message that plays locally once when the user lands on the page? That's like a school bell and an announcement. Alright, and now we are going to find a good school bell sound effect. School bell sound effect. Perfect. That's all right. Alright, we're going to open up Audacity because we have the Audacity and we have 4 minutes left. Where did I download this to? I'm hearing pops. Who's saying what? We have 4 minutes. We have 4 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Multiverse garbage. March 2026.
Job is done.
Yes, I can hear you. Alright, so we got our school bell sound effect. We're in here. Audio setup, recording device. We got our blue snowball. What should I say? Hey, it's me, Neek, also VR Nico, and this is the Multiverse School VR chat. If you are here, it's because you are awesome. And this world, we teach, we stream classes Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time. We are a bunch of coders learning to code in end stage capitalism. So join us, will you? There's a GitHub up where you can make oh my god, it's such a bad recording. I need to dial this in a little bit. I need to hone it in. All right. Alright, import your audio clip into the assets folder, create an empty game object, add an audio source component to it. We have 2 minutes. Can you give me a script to read after the bell? because I suck at what kind of announcement. I want to encourage
Job is done.
people who are on the site to post to the GitHub and to come to class Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 11 at Pacific time.
Job is done.
All right. Welcome to the Multiverse School. If you're enjoying what you see, get involved. Head over to our GitHub and start posting. We'll take pull requests to help build this VR chat world together. Share your work, ask questions, build with us, please. Live classes run Monday through Thursday, 10 to 11 a.m. Pacific. Pull up a chair, open your laptop. Let's write some code together. See you in class. So annoying. All right. Alright, and we'll drag this over here. Welcome to the Multiverse School. If you're enjoying... Alright, it's good enough. Maybe we'll amplify that so that it is as loud as the bell. Cool, and we'll export audio as an MP3 file into... what did I call this? March, Multiverse VR Chat, Assets, new folder, Audio, Neek Intro. Oh, we only have 10 seconds left. Oh no, we failed. We failed. Alright, this is the last thing we can put in. So we imported the audio clip, create an empty game object, welcome announcement, and add an audio source component to it, audio source. Assign audio clip, play on awake, add the welcome announcement, udon behavior, and uncheck play on awake, set the delay, gotta get, maybe we need to make the U sharp for it. In Unity,
Job is done.
go to VR Chat, SDK, udon sharp, refresh, compile. Assets. U-sharp script. This is that that serialization issue. Added the U-sharp script. Can you fix, please? Thank you. So when Claude just goes off on its own and makes a script, it generally doesn't work. So we had this issue with the audio script, so we're gonna fix that.
Job is done.
It's just something to realize when we're working in Unity with Claude. Is it's not quite there yet. Does Unity have a Claude Copilot or something? I don't know. I think Unreal has Copilot, um, but don't quote me on that. Okay, so that's that. And, it'd be nice to have another one of these mirrors somewhere. Maybe in class, because people like to look at themselves in class. So, like right here. -90. And then we'll scale that out so you can see yourself sitting down and watching. Cool. So the time is up. The time is up. Welcome announcement. Audio source. Is it just audio source? Okay. Delay too. And let's test it out. Alright, it didn't work for me, but maybe. Maybe it'll work in the test version of the world. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We didn't get everything done that we wanted to, but we did a lot in an hour, so that's what it comes down to. No, it didn't work. Oh well. There I am, sitting in class, watching teacher, looking at this floor. Wonderful. All right. Still doesn't work. How do I set it up to work? That's about the script compiled. This is how you're adding. Create an empty game object. Right click the hierarchy.
Job is done.
Alright, so how are we going to do this? Delete that. Create an empty game object. Right click the hierarchy and create empty. Name it welcome announcement. Welcome announcement. Add an audio source component. Select the game object, audio source. Assign your audio clip to the audio clip field. Unique intro. Uncheck play on awake. Set spatial blend to 0. Fully 2D. Add an udon behavior. Udon behavior. Assign the program. Welcome announcement. Once the program, you'll see the announcement source and delay fields. Drag the audio source into there. Welcome to the Multiverse School. If you're enjoying what you see, get involved. Head over to our GitHub and start posting. We'll take pull requests to help build this VR chat world together. Share your work, ask questions, build with us, please. Live classes run Monday through Thursday, 10 to 11 a.m. Pacific. Pull up a chair, open your laptop. Let's write some code together. See you in class. Oh my God, that's so cheesy. Cool, but it works. It's going to annoy everyone, especially me whenever I come to class. You know, that's some dark design. We need people to know what we're here about. Can you make a sign that links to the GitHub for our VR chat world somewhere? And then we'll want a link to the GitHub for the VR chat world. VRC, the Metaverse, or the Multiverse School. And then that's that, right? We our time is up. It says 0 above my head. How do we feel about pushing this? How do we feel about pushing this? I'm gonna push it. It's gonna be pushed. It's going. Ship it. Just enough time to make some vaporwave. Exactly. Alright, so we got a message board. Ooh, it would be cool if we could see the most recently pushed thing to the GitHub, but we can't, so that's okay. All right, so now it's building us a little sign that says like we're on GitHub, and we'll see how it's doing with that. It's a gross little desert cabin that we made. But you know, it's important to do stuff like this because it's like you don't know what you're gonna build until you build it. And you know, in my head I was like, oh, it's gonna be this like futuristic cyberpunk, like there's gonna be spaceships and it's gonna be like AAA, like Halo. No, we built like Red Dead Redemption 0 if it sucked. Like it's like not it's like not the vibe. Like I know that. But this wouldn't have existed if we didn't do it. You know, it's so And y'all were the ones that said you wanted to build a VR chat world this week. So don't get mad at me for having fun with it. But you see like all the different yeah, hippie ranch and once upon a time in Hollywood vibes. This is yeah, ooh, that's good vibes ish, you know. Um, we can shoot our VR cowboy movie here. People love cowboys, you know. Uh, VR western. So I implore you to explore the world that we made together. I'm gonna throw this board into it. I'm gonna link to it in the chats, and you know, you helped build it. So take some pride in that, even if even if it doesn't feel like it. So let's. How do we share this, baby? I don't know how to share it. All right. I'll put all the links in the Matrix chat. But thanks for joining this week. Y'all have been wonderful. I've been me, and code something today, will you? Just code something, a line of code. It was great working on this together. See you next week, 10 a.m. Monday, Pacific time. And maybe I'll see you in VR chat in between now and then. Adios.